Okay guys, I don't even know which vlog this is. They're all just sort of blending into one. Updates. Maybe I'll show you guys properly. This is my room right now. As you can see, there's a lot to be done, but I have my old bed here. I have Bunny's, we'll call this Bunny's sofa. I have my, what's that called? Closet that is falling apart, but I brought some stuff. And Bunny and I are now going to try and tackle things so I can have my clothes in place, right, Guppy? What I think I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to, even though I have zero motivation, I'm just gonna tackle my room as much as I can, putting all the clothes in the closet and let the fun begin. Hi vlog, I'm talking to you currently from a very rainy day. It's thundering, like it's rumbling and thundering, and Israel is not really known for that, but the weather outside is sort of like Florida. That's the vibe today. Truth be told, I am stressed. I'm stressed with all the work I didn't do because I was just completely incapable of doing anything worth thinking of. I'm thinking truly of filing a lawsuit, so I'm giving my case to a lawyer and we're going to see what can be done. I'm not a pushover. If I need to take this to court, I will. I won't say that I'm not stressed about it, like I feel anxious about it, but I'm really trying to just stand my ground and not give up. So right now I'm just trying to play catch up, and right now this is my current view and situation of my room. This is sort of where we're at. So it's not too bad. It's better than what it was before. All of my clothes are finally in the closet. This is the first time since coming back home that I've stayed on this floor and actually like made a room here. I'm pretty exhausted mentally and emotionally. I think everyone in this country is right now. I have not been vlogging much lately, so I don't even know where this vlog blends in with everything else. But here I am. I'm next to the Mamela, close by. I'm going to get a dessert for the young adults group. I haven't been in the city for a few days. There are a bit, oh, this is sad, okay. So in Hebrew it says Iskor, which means like to remember. And then you have these are the hostages, and they're putting a picture for every single one of them. It's just insane. Like you literally have men, women, children, babies, mothers, fathers, grandparents. It's just insane. I can say that the feeling here is very somber, because it's not just the people that have been kidnapped. You know that for every kidnapped person, there are families, there are friends, there's just a whole network of people that are praying for their return. And I can't imagine being someone that has someone that I know kidnapped for a whole month. And so when I say that it matters that we pray, it matters that we pray. not just for the people kidnapped, but for their families, for their friends, for everyone who is affected, because it's just unbelievable the amount of people. It's at least 249. So in Israeli culture, what you do is that when you are at a gravesite, you will put a stone on the gravesite. So they have stones in the back and they're writing. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think they brought the amount of candles of the amount that were murdered, which is 1,400. Those candles that you see, they're not normal candles. We call them Ner Neshama. It's a candle that you light I think it stands for about 24 hours or even more. And you light it in honor of the person who died. So that's what's going on here. Here it is, the city. Let me show you guys. It's still a ghost town in comparison to what it could be on any normal night. At some point you have to go out, you have to live, you have to be in your normal setting. And now this isn't normal. I mean, all of these shops would usually they would be open. You know, it's not even 6:30, but they just know that there's not really tourists around. There's barely any locals outside to shop during these hours. So I do miss the city. I really do miss the city. I feel every time I come back to Jerusalem that it's my home. There's police presence basically everywhere. You know, you can see them stopped every few meters in different places. It is city center. It's the most populated place, so if something does happen, it would be here. But the city just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same. I'm here with Abby. We're at Malcha Mall, which is rare for us, and everything is closed, and it's not even 9. There's never a time where this is not crammed, and this should not be like this at this hour. But we are on the hunt for food. We're doing the rounds to see if there's anything that we want to eat. We haven't had a crepe in a while. This should not be here. It shouldn't be here. So we're here. Maybe I'll turn you guys around so you can see. Abby and I. Well, you can really see it like going up all the way to the side. Abby was very sweet. She brought me flowers, and I asked if it was okay if we both just took one flower and maybe lift up a prayer when we're there, and not acting like it's a grave. It's not a grave, but at least to make it pleasant next to where they are. So we're gonna go there, and feel free to pray with us when you see what you're going to see next. And you can already feel heavy, you know, right? I can already feel like the somberness of it. If you guys saw the last time that we were here at Pais Arena, it's where we were all going to donate blood, which I didn't get the chance to, but it's the same place. So it feels like, I don't know, like months ago, and literally it was maybe a month ago. Oh, this is terrible. No one here is okay. Everyone came because they want to have a way to connect, maybe to wish them well, maybe to pray. But it's just absolutely unbelievable, the amount of faces that you see here, and no one is excluded. You have a 4-year-old next to a 65-year-old. To just think that these people have been there for over a month. They've been here for over a month. It's just, it's it's everyone's worst nightmare. I'm not entirely sure that I have words right now, but everyone who came is like, they're very, very somber, and every single light here represents a person, and it almost symbolizes as if, you know, if you're crying out to the heavens, like this light goes all the way up, you know, like that is how the light goes all the way up. And I'm just praying that truly they will come home. Abby and I just prayed for a while for the hostages, for the IDF, for the world, for the Gazans, for the terrorists. I know that a lot of people would think that that's absolutely insane, and I'm willing to not ever backpedal on that either. That God desires salvation for everyone, and it's just incredible. It's not normal. This should not be a normal thing. This should not be in anyone's city. And if you've prayed with us, continue to pray. Continue to pray that just as this song says, that they would come home, that they would come home, that they would come home. I'm in a weird place that I don't ever film in. The bomb shelter. It literally looks like a storage place, because it is right now. It is a storage place. But because of the situation, we decided to be proactive and not to wait for anything bad to happen and us not to be prepared, but to have some order in here. We don't have a mamad, which is like one of those like actual room type shelters in a house. We have a bomb shelter for the whole house, but also if the neighbors, when something happens, they also come here. So this is where we're at. We're trying to make some order and create some space.
For a minute in the quiet, it feels like it was before. I get lost just for a moment, thinking I'm not where I am.
So, fun fact, not so fun fact. I don't know that they do this nowadays, but we used to, all of us have to have one gas mask for each individual. And so this is basically the part that goes on it, and then you have this like shot thingy, and they teach you in school like how to do it. I actually remember that during a certain time in my childhood, we had to bring our gas masks to school because there was like a threat. And so for months, we literally just went with our gas masks, like not like that. You have like a box like that, that's the box. And we decorated it to make it like less intimidating. So that was fun.
I feel so low. I'm not myself. Was there something in the wind? Was it meant to be pulled apart from everything I knew, like golden leaves when it's their time to fall?
Okay, final reveal. Ta-da! Wow, you can literally see the carpet for the first time in forever. So now you guys can actually see how the bomb shelter looks like. Maybe I'll show you guys the door. So this is the door of the bomb shelter. You open it like that. This is like a very old one, so it's not, they didn't make it to be like a normal room that you could actually like live in. So, you know, it's just basically cement. It's been painted. It's where the window is. It's supposed to be ventilation. God knows what's happening with it, but right now, if something happens, we can actually come inside and stand when there's sirens, so yay! Sorry for the lighting, but I want to explain to everyone what the bomb shelters are for. If you've guessed that it's rockets, you would be correct. So we have threats of rockets coming from different places, like recently Yemen. You have the danger of it coming from Gaza. You have the danger of it coming from just foreign countries that are not for Israel. So most people around their neighborhoods have a bomb shelter or in their house. Now, if you're a new building, I think it's mandatory that you have what's called a mamad, which is basically a shelter inside of your house. What happened on the 7th of October is that there were sirens in the morning, and so a lot of people ran to their bomb shelters naturally and also locked themselves in their bomb shelters. So there's different ways to lock your bomb shelter from the inside so that no one on the outside can get in, because technically it also serves as a safe room. What did happen recently on October 7th is that the terrorists that came in, they knew that the family was inside the bomb shelter, so either the people didn't have a way to lock the bomb shelter, so they would kill them inside. If they did have a way to lock the bomb shelter, then they would try and burn the house from the outside as to smoke them out of the bomb shelter. And so people hid inside bomb shelters and also were trapped inside bomb shelters. Apart from what happened on October 7th, it's really important to understand that when there's rockets flying and everything, bomb shelters really do save lives. If you don't have a bomb shelter, what you do is you go to the most inner room that doesn't have any windows and stuff like that, inside a building or inside your house. A staircase is also an option. That is where people go when there are rockets, because they do come into houses. People have been saved because they came into the bomb shelter. When there are rockets outside, don't do what I did 2 videos ago, that I went outside and filmed it, a neighborhood one. But you should always run to a bomb shelter. If you are far away from any bomb shelter, you go somewhere that's close to some kind of coverage, you get on the floor and you cover your head. I want to talk to you guys for a second about the issue of forgiveness. I have been thinking about forgiveness in the last month a lot. I'm hearing these slogans that we hear mainly from the Holocaust, that we say, we won't forgive and we won't forget. Lo nishkach v'lo nislach. Now I'm going to say some things that sound super controversial, but for believers, it's not really. And it's not a new concept either. I thought to myself this: how quickly does God require us to forgive? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it a year? Like, what's the timeline for forgiveness? And I thought about Yeshua on the cross. Now you have to understand that before Yeshua was on the cross, he went through such brutal abuse. He was whipped and lashed and beaten and spat on and humiliated and mocked. It was enough torture for anyone to basically have PTSD forever. So then he's asked to take his cross with a completely slashed open back and just drag it through the city for everyone to look and see, like, who is this criminal that is worthy of death? And then he has to be crucified on the cross that he just carried. And while he's being mocked on the cross, he looks down and he says, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Now, let me make it clear. If I was now sitting with a family who just lost their son, their daughter, their father, their mother, their aunt, their uncle, a friend on the atrocities of October 7th, I probably wouldn't say, hey, listen, you need to forgive these people now. Why? Because it's not the appropriate time to do that. But when is it the appropriate time to forgive? When is that time? Is it tomorrow? But what if I die tomorrow? Is it in a month? What if it's too late in a month? What if it's in a year? What if it's too late? What if it's in 20? I don't know. I don't know when my last day on earth is going to be. I do know that unforgiveness is a sin. And I'm not sure where I would go if I didn't forgive, because I'm harboring sin in my heart. And I think that it's the forgiveness of Yeshua that gives us eternal life. And so I'm not acting as if I'm not human. Like, I've had times in which I've had to forgive, and I'm not saying it's anywhere close to forgiving stuff like happened on October 7th. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it's been hard to forgive anyways. And at some point, for the sake of my own peace, I had to forgive. Now, it doesn't negate the fact that God is a God of justice. It doesn't mean that God is going to take vengeance. It doesn't mean anything of the sort. It just means that in order for you to have peace of heart and peace of mind, God is asking of you to forgive. And so I think Yeshua on the cross, forgiving while the offense was happening, is my example, that you pray for your enemies and you ask of God to be the judge. You say, I'm letting them go of the judgment that I think that they should have, and I'm giving it to you. Why? Because they just don't know what they're doing. Now, this doesn't mean that God doesn't do justice whether a person is saved or whether a person isn't saved, whether a person is killed because they are a terrorist or whether they somehow stay alive. God still does justice. And I think if there are any Christians here or Messianic believers here, we have a responsibility to change the narrative and look at things differently. You have to think about Saul as a good example. Saul literally used to persecute and kill Messianic believers back then. Think about that for a second. God encountered him and he changed. And then he went on to save thousands, if not millions, in the present of his time and in the future. Why? Because his testimony of being saved, of being forgiven, was the catalyst to an absolute awakening within the world. That's one reason why God asks us to pray for our enemies. Let's think about the immediate. The immediate is you and I. You and I have things that we probably need forgiveness for, and you and I probably have things that we need to forgive. And without the forgiveness, there's no peace. There's no peace of mind. You're always tormented in some kind of way. So my prayer right now is for you and I to be able to let go and forgive, to give our offense to God, to ask for healing, the supernatural type of healing, the same type that Yeshua had when he was on the cross while being crucified. And that is my spiel for now. It is Friday, the Sabbath is entering, and I haven't even cleaned upstairs, so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. But if you are new to this channel, then welcome. I should let you know that this channel is not necessarily political, but it is showing people just the ins and outs of the side that I experience. That doesn't necessarily mean it covers all sides. It just means that I'm telling you from my experience the things that I know. Also, if you're new here, then feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Know that sometimes my settings will not be so aesthetic. Neither will I be, or neither will the lighting. It's just wherever I am, I film. But feel free to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, share this with whoever you want. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. And I will see you guys in a vlog very soon.